Hi everyone, welcome to Pillars of Love. This is a channel for love readings aimed at the Twin Flame Collective and high-level soulmates. They may also resonate. Sorry if you hear a sound in the background. My cat she's playing with her ball and she's also bringing it to me. She's the cat that fetches like a dog. It's really cute. All right, sorry, she's distracting. Before I get started, I have a couple channeled messages that came through. One from Divine Feminine. The Divine Feminine Collective that I'm channeling for, they are not fucking around. And they brought through a song, a channeled song. It started playing in my head as I was pulling out the decks. Don't Let Me Down by the Beatles. So that's their message to their divine masculines. If you're a divine masculine watching at this time, that's a message from your divine feminine to you. And then I went to play that song in my iTunes, and I was in the Beatles section. No other artists should have been playing. And it went to a completely different artist, a different song than was up next. It started playing Who Will Stop the Rain by CCR. So Divine Feminines, that is your masculine's response to you. And then we're going to get into the cards. Spirit had me pull like 8 decks at least, like 3 tarot decks and a bunch of oracle decks. So let's see what they want me to get started with. Okay. You want me to do one for Divine Feminine, one for Divine Masculine, or something overall? Both? Okay. Just saw 222 on the clock, or on the timestamp. Let's do Divine Feminine first. What card do you want to bring out for Divine Feminine? Guidance. What energy are they currently in? What do you have for them right now? Holy Spirit. Message for Divine Feminine, please. Or about Divine Feminine for their masculines. What is the message coming through for the Divine Feminine energy right now? Card for the Divine Feminine Collective about the Divine. Okay. Wow. Yes, okay. I love this. This is so where they're at, or where they're at least striving to be. We have faith in the process. Sorry for the glare. Still working out my setup here. Faith in the process. That's number 32, which in numerology goes down to a 5. So change. They're in transformation. They're changing. They're growing. And collaborative dreaming. Many are working on their projects. They're standing in their power. And this is a 28, so a 10 in numerology, which is endings, conclusions. I feel like they're ending things that no longer serve them, and they're having faith in the process. You know, if they had jobs that didn't serve them, they're now moving on to serve their purpose. People in their life, habits, mindsets, they're shedding it all and replacing it with faith. I'm going to read these from the booklet as well because they're lovely cards. This is the Sacred Rebels Guidebook by Alana Fairchild. 32. Oh, well, we found collaborative dreaming first, so I'm going to start with that one. Your heart is big enough to dream, not only for yourself, but for a new humanity. Imagine a world that is healed with respect, understanding, and with a community that fosters life. Even your dreams that relate to you alone will contribute positively to the greater good, because that is the nature of your heart. Your heart naturally and intelligently cooperates in a grand scheme of loving creativity, working to heal the hearts of the world. The heart creates win-win situations that benefit the individual and the collective. You are being asked to honor your growing desire to co-create with conscious, like-minded people, or with spirit. I threw that part in myself. Your collaborative dreaming is a heart-inspired win-win, bringing mutual enhancement to yourselves and others. The heart wants to love and be loved. Working with others creatively is a way to allow the heart to grow. It is a chance for you to learn how to honor yourself and others, and to find ways to live and let live, simply by growing and strengthening your active trust in your heart's guidance. You are asked to bear the rough patches that can happen when you work creatively with others. Ideas might clash and there can be friction, particularly if you have different ways of working. Sometimes big dreams need more fire to ignite them into reality. More fire might require more friction along the creative path. It is not meant to be a permanent condition, just an aspect of the creative process from which you can learn something useful if you wish. Your guidance is to embrace any experiences of friction or tension within yourself or as you work with another, with compassion, detachment, and tolerance. Creative endeavors, particularly involving groups, can bring up unresolved issues about being valued, heard, or capable. They can also trigger disputes about taking responsibility or inflame insecurities about being cast into unfamiliar roles of leadership or of having to follow. This might happen for you, for others, or for all involved. The stronger the creative energy that flows, the more likely that triggering will take place. It is the nature of creative energy to move in all directions. It doesn't just want to grow one project. Everything that comes into contact with it will grow. That means that the art and the artists are in the process of creation. This can be smooth, but it is more likely to be rough sailing, at least at times. This is not a sign that something isn't working, far from it. It is more usually a sign that growth is happening and you are feeling the growing pains. This oracle is guiding you to stay in your integrity, honor what you feel, and remember why you chose to open up to group endeavors in the first place, especially if the group involvement becomes complex or challenging. Call on unconditional love each day and evening. It only takes a moment to do. I call on unconditional love. Please help and guide me and this project. You are going through this experience, or will be in the near future, because you are part of a new creative learning program for humanity. This learning program is taking place at a spiritual level. Mrs. Hunt, she's brought me like 3 toys. I'm sorry for the interruption. Thank you for the offerings, but I don't need all of them right now. Thanks, hon. All right, where was I? This learning program is taking place at a spiritual level, and it requires highly individualistic and creative people to learn to work with each other without compromising who they are. Do you want up here? Is that what you want? Do you want up here? Last chance. All right. Sorry, I'm going to start that sentence over. She is all over me. This learning program is taking place at a spiritual level, and it requires highly individualistic and creative people to learn to work with each other without compromising who they are in order to reach a common creative goal. It is wonderful, important, and challenging creative and spiritual work. You need a strong sense of self to be able to engage in the process and not lose your voice during the journey. You need a strong enough sense of self to be flexible and know when to bend rather than break. You have to intuit what is going to be a good, heart-inspired sacrifice for the greater good, and when you will need to stay true to your own voice for the greater good. Only the heart can guide you on these matters, and others may not always agree. Others may not always agree. That is part of the challenge of staying present so that the friction created can be channeled into creative energy rather than lost in emotional turmoil. Please remember that what really matters is that you hear your own voice. Others may or may not be able to receive it. When you hear your own voice, you will be able to connect with your heart truths. You will know when it is right to remain in a group or when you need to withdraw in order to work with others who resonate at a more appropriate vibration and perhaps in harmony with your own. Not every collaboration will be long-term. Sometimes the learning will be short, sharp, and possibly even painful before it turns into the wisdom that is gained from experience. At other times, the journey will be more loving, supportive, and harmonious. This is neither better nor worse, just different. This oracle comes with particular guidance for you at this phase of your life path and creative journey. You are no longer to think of yourself as the lone wolf. Yes, you have your unique path to tread, but you now have tasks to accomplish for your own growth and the greater good that require more than a one-man band. You will still do your own work, of course. However, others are on the way to help you. There is only so much a single drop of water can do on its own, though it is precious. Together, those drops can become a wave and make a considerable impact in the world. You are a part of a wave of loving consciousness, and you are meant to be exploring collaborative dreams, healing relationships, and conscious communities. Some connections will be short-lived and perhaps involve some learning experiences that you are hopeful of never needing to repeat. Others will be longer-term loves. Either way, you will emerge more of yourself and more in connection with the world that wants your ideas, presence, energy, and light. This oracle brings a message to those of you that are involved in a group or are struggling over whether to continue or let it go and move on. You're asked to trust your heart and not to allow any group to become more powerful than the wisdom of your own heart. Always allow the sacred rebel within you to question authority. Is it loving and wise authority, or is it coming from a place of fear-based control? Look to your heart's wisdom to discern whether your involvement in a group is healthy or not. Sometimes a group can only receive so much of our energy before it's time to move on. Sometimes a group is not receiving us at all, but we feel that we are meant to be a guiding hand in it for a period of time before our heart urges us to let go. Ask for guidance and trust in the feelings that become clear to you over time. You will know what to do, and you must always trust your own voice above any other. So it's quite long, but if you need to rewind, take notes, it's really good stuff. I always find connection and inspiration to these cards, inspiration from these cards. Faith in the process. No matter how powerful we are, how much courage and strength we have, there are times when we can't quite move ourselves along to the next phase of life or creative exploration. At such times, we need some divine intervention, a little help in pulling our trolley along, so to speak. When we are at the edge of our own limits and have no more personal resources, we might be left with only one spiritual power, that of faith. Fortunately, that's enough. As unlikely as it may seem, the invisible help from the universe is often more powerful than the physical efforts of 1,000 men. That's because the invisible help is not limited by physical laws. It can shift, bend, and move in ways that defy limitation. It can affect, evoke, and influence situations through invisible but undeniably persuasive means. You're in a situation where you cannot set right the course of events all by yourself. See, this is why I was saying you may be collaborating with others, but you could also just be getting more in touch with your spirit guides and collaborating in that way. This is not an indication that you have done something wrong, nor does this suggest that you are not strong enough. It is a sign that there is something bigger unfolding in your life, and your willpower will be supplemented by the power of life itself. Sometimes a bigger plan needs to manifest for the benefit of humanity and the earth. You need to shift your perspective to realize that you are part of the greater unfoldment of life, that your individual life serves the greater plan, and that you are not separate from its genius. This is what is happening now. You happen to be instrumental to the greater plan, and as such, you need to accept your position and be moved while also being empowered and protected as you make personal progress through your role in that grander scheme. This is a time for humility and trust. You need complete faith in the processes and events that are happening. There is nothing to worry about. You will be moved most fully and easily, and with the most grace and assistance, through your faithful surrender. Ironically, it is through complete surrender, in total faith, that we become the most empowered. When we are no longer trying to impede the perfection of the greater plan, we can be aligned with and moved by the process. Having faith in the benevolence of life, rather than harboring the suspicion that life is seeking to catch us out, have a joke at our expense, or carelessly toss us about as though we mean nothing. Then we can relax a little. Having faith in the process gives you space to be curious about what is taking place and to relax enough to be open to what we are most in need of, even if we aren't exactly sure what that is or how it can happen. The guidance from this oracle comes direct from the greater source of life itself. There is now an opportunity for you to be moved from the situation you are currently in to the next chapter in your life story. You can't do it on your own. It is too big a shift. It needs the grace of life to intervene on your behalf. You will need faith. You may feel as though the wheels of your trolley are coming off or that they are a bit rickety, but you must also understand that the voice of life is now coming straight to your heart with this message. I have resources you know not of. It is safe to trust in my ways and in my wisdom. For I love you, and I am guiding you into all that is rightfully yours. Know that what is rightfully yours is what your heart truly desires, and you need not fear loss. Nothing that is meant to come to you will be denied, and it is safe for you to let go and allow me to move you. Through faith, peace is restored, and you are able to know this and perhaps have some fun in the process. So Divine Feminines, that is your guidance. And I think many of you, you're already on this journey. You've already begun this. It's beautiful. Let's get one or two for the Divine Masculines. Spirit. Energy of the Divine Masculines. Guidance for the Divine Masculines. What do you want to come through for the Divine Masculines in this collective? What do you want to come through? All right. Yes. Divine Masculines, getting in touch with your intuition. This card is She Feels, She Knows. It doesn't have to be female. Divine Masculines can be female or male, vice versa with Divine Feminines. This isn't about that. This is about whoever you are as a Divine Masculine, if you identify as one. You need to get in touch with your intuition, or you are in the process of doing so. Let's see what. Also, this is the number 22, which is a 4 in numerology. Finding stability in your spiritual journey is what I'm hearing. All right, 22. An illumination is erupting from within you as a vision that is bringing what was once obscured into clarity. This is not likely to happen as a blinding, shocking insight, but more of a softer, gentle knowing. It is like knowing something without understanding exactly when or how you came to know it. This insight will assist you, and you are asked to honor it. You will know which insight it is at the right time. Your heart will tell you, excuse me, I need a sip of water. All right. Your heart will tell you. You are therefore being asked to rely upon the clarity that is coming to you now, or has just recently come to you. Gently but firmly from that place of knowing, intend to act and take your next steps forward. This oracle comes to you with guidance, particularly about long-range or long-term developments. Something that is far bigger than the immediate situation, issue, or moment is of importance, although you will only have a dim sense of what that is. Although you will only have a dim sense of that possibility at best. The situation you find yourself in right now may not be one of joy. It's the storm that they mentioned in the song. Divine masculines have been in a place of, the word that's coming to me is upheaval, for some time. Dark night of the soul is the term for it. So the situation you find yourself in, it may not be one of joy right now, but in time, you will understand more the bigger picture. You will come to see why things are happening as they are, and how you are being helped onto the next stage of your path, even though it may look like an obstacle right now. You are being asked to think in terms of long-term happiness. Sometimes this warrants change or even temporary restrictions in the short term. If you can't see how the present can possibly become what you sense the future to be, yeah, this is just so in alignment with that song. This message is especially relevant. Through the natural process of transformation, great leaps are indeed possible. You simply must be prepared to surrender into the process with absolute trust. This oracle brings you a specific guidance. The situations in your current life are particularly geared towards a more significant manifestation that is coming to you according to your life path and purpose. This is a stage of preparation and of building a foundation that will hold you strong and centered as your creative journey unfolds and your life path becomes ever more brilliant and luminous. So keep plugging away. Remain patient, but most of all, be hopeful. Trust in the light you sense ahead of you. For it is the light that is within you simply revealed more fully. And all that is happening now is happening to that end. So yeah, Divine Masculines, that's your answer to your song message. You're in a stage of preparation, transformation. You're learning, you're growing. You're learning to tap into your intuition and your spiritual nature. Many Divine Masculines were not spiritual at all prior to meeting their Divine Feminines, even sometime after meeting them, perhaps. But something recently has triggered this collective into this particular part of the journey, this wave that we are channeling for. They are being guided to tap into spirit, tap into themselves, and tap into faith too. That was a message for both Divine Feminine and Masculine. Surrender, have faith, have trust. All right, let's see what deck they want me to pull next. Okay. So this, I love these decks. These are a Rebel deck. I can't remember the name of the artist right now, but I will have all the decks below in the description for you if you're interested. All right, let's start with Divine Feminine. Messages for Divine Feminine, please. Oh, that was fast. All right, we have family shit is getting on your nerves. So there's messages on the backs of these two, but I'm feeling called not to show you the back of this one. I feel it's just the front of this one that is applicable for the people that I'm speaking to. Family shit's getting on your nerves. You may need to take some time to yourself, take a little more time, alone time, quiet time, get out of the house more. If you're married with kids, ask if your spouse can watch the kids so that you can have this time and ensure that they get the same in return. This could be, outside of romantic connections too. This could be parents, siblings, cousins, whoever it is you're interacting with regularly. Let's see. I'm going to pull some tarot on this and see if they'll give us some advice for you there. Okay. What advice for you have? Excuse me. What advice do you have for these Divine Feminines who are dealing with some family things, family drama, or just family stresses, whatever it is. What advice do you have for them? Please clarify. Please clarify. Have anything else to say? Yes. Okay, so this could be a mother. Or this could be you, and this is a husband or a masculine spouse that you're dealing with. So, Ace of Cups, Mother of Cups in reverse. I'm getting, this is about giving a cup of love to yourself. You're imbalanced in this situation, emotionally drained. You're giving too much to other people. Yeah. That's the divine feminine way. We give and we give and we give, and we're in the process of learning to give to ourselves first. So that is your divine feminine advice. That came out so quickly that it could be, I don't know what that means, but device could be a channeled message for someone. Maybe your phone's about to die. Check it, plug it in real quick. But your advice is to fill your cup first. Yeah, fill your cup first. Take on an emperor energy yourself. Take control of the situation. Step into your power a little more. Have firmer boundaries. Don't be manipulated into thinking that you need to do more than you're capable of doing. And I'm not calling your spouses manipulative, but you're not getting enough time to yourself. And it can be really easy to hear, even if they don't mean you any harm, they're asking for more than you can give. Kindly tell them. And if they are emotionally manipulative, definitely lay down some boundaries. All right, so let's get one of these Rebel deck cards for the Divine Masculines. Oh, okay, that was also fast. These really like to jump. They are fiery cards. Okay. Okay. So I'm getting karmic energy here. Divine Masculines. I feel like most of the collective I'm channeling for are Divine Masculines and Feminines that are in separation. So they're with other people currently. Your advice, Divine Masculine, is watch what you say. That mouth of yours can start some shit, or could start some shit. And just walk away. Everyone could use a little fucking break. So, take it how it resonates for you. If you are at a place where you're ready to walk away from something entirely that feels right for you, go for it. Just be mindful of how you do so, of what you say and the actions you take in walking away. But even if you just need a little break, same thing. Just take a little time to yourself. Both of you need time for yourself. Maybe you are also giving too much to the person that you are with. And that's why you're in this energy of could possibly start some shit. Because all of you got to take care of yourself before you can take care of others, or you will lash out. Or just wear down so much that you can't do anything and you get sick. So take care of yourselves. All right, what deck you got next? Some tarot? Oh, that one just flew out. So what do we got? The Hermit. Yes, what did I just say? Oh my God, did you see that? The Hermit. I just told you need to take some time for yourself. And then the freaking Hermit comes out. Take some time for yourself. This came out not on my twin flame tier, But for my Patreon collective, for the new moon message, it was recommended that they also take time to themselves more often. Meditate, enjoy some quiet time, get in touch with your intuition, take care of yourself. All right, is that all you wanted from that deck for now, or you want a little more? More? All right. Let's see. Divine Feminine. Get some messages through Divine Feminine. What do we got for Divine Feminine coming through this deck? Reversed. Okay. Clarify this Ten of Swords reversed, please. Okay. Is this their Divine Masculine or a Karmic? Okay. I mean, take it as it resonates for you guys, Divine Feminines. But we have Ten of Swords reversed, Three of Pentacles, and King of Cups reversed. So yeah, I think this is karmic energy, because you came up as the Queen of Cups in reverse, and this is the King of Cups in reverse. When two, like the King and Queen of any suit come up, of the same suit come up in the upright position, I generally read them as the twins, the twin flames, the high-level soulmates. But when they're reversed, I generally see them, in these readings at least, as the karmic energy. And with the message that you were just given about not giving enough to yourself and giving too much to others, you and whoever you're with currently, if you're with someone, you're both in an unbalanced emotionally right now. There's not a balance give and take between you. You may not be sharing your emotions with each other in a balanced way. Someone could be holding back. But I feel like with the Ten of Swords in the reverse, the situation has left you just feeling a bit dead, a bit done with it all. But with it, since it's in the reverse position, you're taking out those swords, you're releasing the situation, or the advice is to release the situation, at least for a moment, take a break from it. Because this collaboration, this working together right now, it's not working. You're cutting your own head off to make it work. You don't need to be doing that. You're putting in too much effort. Too much. I mean, this is just a repeat message. Take your energy back a bit. Take your energy back. Divine Masculines. Do you want all of these? Okay. Divine Masculines are burdened. They are burdened. Yeah, they're overworking. Literally like bleeding for their money here. I'll walk you through the cards first. So we have Ten of Wands upright, Nine of Pentacles upright. This is what I was saying with the bleeding for your money. You're working hard to what's the word I'm looking for? Well, you're working hard for your financial stability, but it's kind of killing you. And you still feel, this is the Five of Pentacles upright, you still feel oh, sorry, hang on, channeling. There's a lot coming through. It's not totally clear verbally. I think that's how you feel. It's just like you're overwhelmed. This just is like an overwhelming feeling. My breathing even got a little more difficult just now. You're sad. You may be feeling left out in the cold by your divine feminine. Your household situation is making you feel that way as well. You see the house here, it's upside down and your eye burning. You know, it's like, it's also these waves here, your emotions, your thoughts, your finances, everything just feels upside down. It feels overwhelming, upside down. It's heard topsy-turvy. And it seems, a lot of it seems to be based around finances. It's maybe you're staying in the situation that you're in because of finances. We have the Queen of Pentacles is coming up as the person you're with currently. We do have the Star here again, though. And it's next to the Five of Pentacles, which just makes me feel... This came up, I remember last time, in the last video on this channel, and the Star came up as the Divine Feminine, or the energy the Divine Masculine had towards the Divine Feminine, because they see them as a star. I mean, you could be in the spotlight, Divine Feminine, but even if not, you're a star in their eyes, and you're healing, you're nourishing, but they feel left out in the cold by you, so they're not getting that nourishment. They're not feeling your energy at this time. So they're working, they're trying to work through whatever this is with the person they're with. They're overwhelmed. What is the advice for them in this situation? I'm not getting that coming through clearly. What advice do you have for the masculines in this situation, please, Spirit? What's your advice for them in this situation, please? Oh, no, not quite. Too many. What is your advice for them in this situation? Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Why? I'm going to need a clarifier on that. We got the Queen of Wands in the reverse, which almost always comes up as a karmic for me, especially in this deck. She's creepy. No offense, karmics. I'm not calling you creepy. I'm just saying it's not a pleasant energy being in a situation that neither of you are enjoying, when it's just not working. And I mean, when you feel like this, it's time to walk away. It doesn't matter whose fault it is or what's going on. This is overwhelming. Please clarify this Queen of Wands. What is the advice you have for them, these masculines? Whoa, there we go. Oh, gosh. Oh, you can't get more. Literally landed the Empress on top of the Queen of Wands. The advice is to go towards your Empress. That's your advice. I mean, don't go directly towards them without getting out of this. Here, I'm going to pull one more so you can get a more concrete advice on how to get out of this. But let's see if anything else is coming through from these cards. I mean, yeah, it's move from something that feels heavy and dark to something that feels light and nourishing. What is your advice for them getting out of this situation, please, Spirit? What's your advice for them? Practical steps for getting out of it, please. What is your advice for them getting out of this overwhelming situation? Yes. Yes, yes. Magician. Just stand in your power. They're not being super specific with it. They're basically saying, you already know. You already have all the tools. I guess this goes along with the she feels, she knows card. Get in touch with your intuition. And the Hermit card, take time to yourself to hear these messages yourself, to see the tools that you have, the options you have. Yeah. Make your moves. You have everything you need. You just have to believe you do. You have to recognize it. This is a very an action-based card. There's at least 3 spirit guides coming through on this card. You are surrounded by help and guidance. And no matter your money situation, have some faith. Okay, have some faith. There is a way out of it no matter how little money you have. And in order to come towards an Empress, you can't come towards her with all this baggage because it's going to end again. You're going to go through the loop, the cycle one more time if you do. You have to get out of the situation and then come towards her. You know, make sure that you are grounded. And again, it doesn't mean perfect financial stability. That's a very masculine mindset, and I just want to be very clear about that. That's not what I mean. Get grounded in yourself. Make the moves you need to get grounded in yourself and get yourself out of this. Your guides are here to help you. So you've got 1, 2, 3. 3 is a very spiritual number too. You've got this, masculines. You've got this. You just have to believe you do and take action. All right. Okay, yep. We're going to start with the masculines for this deck. So what do they need to heal in particular? We know they need to get in touch with their intuition. They need to believe they have the tools, the options to get out of a tough situation. What other guidance do you have for them? What healing do they need to do to get out of the situation they're in, to come towards their Empress? What is your advice for these masculines, please, Spirit? What is your advice for these masculines, please, Spirit? Okay. Oh, yeah. And I just heard, do you believe in magic? You got to believe in miracles. You got to believe in magic. I love this card. The energy of this card is great. This is also, so this is, because it's a chakra deck, each card represents a different chakra. This is yellow, so it's the solar plexus, which is center of fear. So heal your fear, find your faith over fear. I'm going to read this one as well from the guidebook. Let's see. Miracle. Integrity is what turns on the light. Darkville is a town of self-centered people. One day Betty is given too much change after making a purchase, and she returns the extra money. A brilliant light bursts from the stump of a dead oak tree in the center of the town. The citizens are bewildered by the sudden brightness, but neither question the sun's sparkler, nor change their cheating ways. One day a child asks it why it came. It tells her that it shines for all that is good in the world and appears when a good deed occurs. The residents of Darkville are touched and become more selfless. Do you let someone in, or do you pretend not to see them? You cannot shut out pain without shutting out pleasure. Kindness exists to lend magic to integrity. The essence of inspiration is integrity. Can I be counted on? Key ideas are being a light, lighting the way for others, incoming miracles, integrity, gifts, reward. The brightest of all thoughts resides in sun yellow. As natural radiance stems from pure integrity, be honest and forthright no matter what. With the energy of the sun, a miracle awaits. You instinctively know what is authentic. Trust this. All right, so this booklet, it brings through a few different ideas, but at the forefront is faith. believing in miracles and the fact that your circumstances can change. Integrity, honesty. So you may need to ask yourself, what are the intentions behind your actions, behind your words? Address those at this time. That could be something you meditate or journal on. And what was the other one that came through? Oh, authenticity. Yes, step into your authentic self. Step into your authentic self. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Oh, yes, I knew Spirit wanted me to look at this. The one at the bottom is also a solar plexus card. Prayer. Pray. I mean, if you don't, what's the word I'm looking for? If that's not in your, wow, Spirit's literally not even letting me say it. They're like, no, pray. I don't care if you, I mean, if you don't believe in Spirit and you're watching my videos, I don't know what to say. This is a spiritual channel. So my guides are saying, pray. Your guides are saying, pray. We are here for you and we are ready to help, but you have to talk to us. This is something that I feel like a lot of people don't understand. Spirit guides help. This is my understanding. They help to a degree without you asking. There are certain things they can do, but they cannot interfere or help you fiercely, directly, in the way that they want, in the way that you need right now, Divine Masculine, without you asking, without you talking to them about it, without you surrendering these concerns to them. So talk to your ancestors and angels. That's a really good place to start. You know, just say, angels, ancestors, this is what I'm struggling with. I give it up to you. Please show me the way. You can ask for specific signs, but I honestly like to leave it open. I like them to surprise me. Music comes through a lot for me, so I'm feeling like telling you to keep an eye out for that. If you're listening to the radio or your iTunes, if it shuffles unexpectedly like mine did on me, take note. That is a message for you. So yeah, interact with your guides, interact with yourself, take time with yourself. Find your faith. Find yourself, your authenticity. Find your way, I just heard. Find your way, masculines. You've got this. I'm feeling the energy of your guides. They're like, go, go, yes. They're like cheering you on. They want so badly for you to overcome the things that you're dealing with right now. And you can, you will. I really feel that the collective I'm channeling for, you have the potential to. We still have free will, so you can choose otherwise. I wouldn't recommend it though. I mean, if you're already struggling in the situation you're in, I mean, it's not going to get magically better. I believe in magic, but there are times when you can just tell that you're going against the grain. And that's what I feel this collective is, the masculines in this collective. Currently, your circumstances go against your natural path, your authentic path. And it's time to redirect. That's what I'm hearing. It's time to redirect. All right, Spirit, what else you got? Okay. This deck is called Our Tarot by Sarah Shipman. And it has different women, powerful, important women on it. I'm feeling like these might be, whether they're literal spirit guides or just like inspirational guides for some of you out there. So what women want to come through to inspire our divine feminines? Please, Spirit. Oh, I wanted to come. Oh, there's two. Oh my gosh, we got the Ten of Swords in reverse again. Definitely releasing. And this is Jane Grey. I'm going to pull a guidebook out for this one too. Oh my gosh. And you're coming up as the Queen of Cups in reverse again. Spirit could not be more clear. They could not be more clear. And this is... Oh Lord, I'm going to butcher this name. Kaulani. See if you can get it in the focus. Yeah. So I'm going to read these two and see what extra guidance it has for you. Okay, so Ten of Swords reversed. Keywords or key phrases: light on the horizon and clearing space. So yeah, that's the like release energy I was feeling. When Lady Jane Grey was born, it seemed that her destiny was the same as that of any other English noblewoman of the day. Grow up, be tutored in the proper subjects, and make an advantageous marriage. Jane accomplished all of these things, but her fate became tragically complicated as a result of the people around her. Jane, like many women in her family, was exceedingly clever and highly educated. She was the great-granddaughter of King Henry VII, through his daughter Mary Tudor, who was the sister of the infamous Henry VIII. After Henry VIII died, his young son ascended the throne as Edward VI. When the teenaged Edward lay dying in 1553, he did his best to keep his staunchly Catholic older sister Mary from succeeding to the English throne. He would have preferred his other sister Elizabeth, a Protestant, to be his heir. However, the 1544 Succession Act proclaimed by Henry VIII had reinstated both Mary and Elizabeth in the line of succession. If Edward named one of his sisters as his heir, he would not be able to deny the other. One of his closest advisors, John Dudley, Duke of Northumberland, was Jane's father-in-law. Hoping to put his son in a position of power, Dudley encouraged Edward to consider his 16-year-old cousin as his successor. At first, Edward declared only Jane's male heirs would have a claim to the throne. But as his death neared, Edward conceded that his cousin was first in line. After Edward's death, Jane accepted the crown reluctantly, and she was right to be cautious. Her claim to the throne was shaky, as there were two living daughters of King Henry VIII, the first of whom was already campaigning to depose Jane. She was only queen for 9 days before the Privy Council, advisors to the monarch, changed their minds and allegiances from Jane to her cousin, the soon-to-be Mary I. Jane was tried and convicted for high treason and executed in early 1554. Wow. Jane Grey, as the Ten of Swords, can represent a tragic end, often beyond one's own control. It is a card that indicates completion and the need to make a new start somehow. Jane Grey's card indicates that you may be feeling hurt or betrayed. When you find yourself thrust into an unfamiliar position, proceed with caution. Trust your own instincts over those of the people around you, who may not have your best interests in mind. How can you protect yourself in a delicate situation? Yes. How can you protect yourself, Divine Feminine, in the situation you're in? One is by setting those boundaries we talked about. But with this coming up reversed, I feel like you are already in the process of releasing some of this. Just keep going with it. Keep setting those boundaries. Keep taking care of yourself first and foremost. And follow your intuition, even if those around you don't agree with your choices. As long as you are in tune with yourself, your authentic self, and your authentic path, don't let it bother you. I know it's not easy to do that, but just keep reminding yourself. Let's see, and then Queen of Cups. Okay. Yes. Okay, the reversed key phrases here. Emotional insecurity, dissatisfaction, and feeling drained. Got to get your energy back. Call your energy back. You may want to do cord cutting. It's as simple as just asking your guides to cut energetic cords. Oh, I just saw 3333 on the timestamp. That's your guides saying, yes, call upon us to help cut these cords of the people that are draining you. You need to get a little space for yourself. Pull back your energy. Oh, wow. Yeah, so there's no way I can say this name fully. I'm so sorry about that. There are 6 names for this one name. So I'm just going to say Victoria was born to a Hawaiian mother, Princess Miriam Like, and a Scottish father, Archibald Cleghorn, who was a businessman as well as being the royal governor of Oahu. Her mother was the sister of the then ruler of Hawaii, King Kalakua. Her childhood prepared her to be an elegant, modern princess, and it also steeled her to withstand difficult hardships. When she was only 11, her mother became mysteriously ill and died. Not only did this leave the young princess motherless, but it also brought her closer to inheriting her country's throne. Okay, both of these are women that inherited a throne or were set up to inherit a throne. I find that interesting. It might be, you don't want to look into these women in general, but that might be something that the feeling of like a life prepared for you is what I'm getting. Expectations of your family and how they expect you to live is what's coming through. Okay, so her family decided that it would be best for her to receive a British education. After all, she had been named after Queen Victoria, who had helped the Kingdom of Hawaii reestablish its independence several decades before. In 1889, 13-year-old Victoria sailed to England, where she was schooled in art, music, mathematics, history, and several languages. She would stay there for the next 4 years. However, back home in Hawaii, there was turmoil. King Kalakua died in 1891, and his sister ascended the throne. Being a childless woman in her 50s, the new queen quickly named her niece as her heir. Only 2 years later, a group of businessmen and politicians hailing from the United States succeeded in their efforts to overthrow the Hawaiian monarchy and annex the island chain to the United States. Victoria, still abroad in England, received this devastating news in a short telegram. Soon after, she told the press, "I am going to Washington to plead for my throne, my nation, and my flag. Will not the great American people hear me?" Within a month, she arrived in the United States. The press were either astounded by her well-spoken, confident manner or threatened by it. Prejudiced reporters wrote about her and her aunt using racial slurs. She traveled to New York and Boston, speaking at social events in favor of restoring sovereignty to Hawaii. Unflagging in her dedication, she met with U.S. President Grover Cleveland and the First Lady to promote her cause. The president was moved by her statements and brought her case to Congress. However, the Senate refused to restore the monarchy, although it did temporarily halt the country's efforts to annex Hawaii as a territory of the U.S. She returned to Europe, hoping the situation in her home country would improve, but it didn't. Additionally, after her aunt had been overthrown, Victoria's health deteriorated. She suffered from intense migraines and was frequently ill. The princess returned to Hawaii in 1897, hoping the warmer tropical climate would restore her health, and to no avail. Despite this, she inspired her people and frequently made public appearances. I'm getting right now the illness thing. Like, really take care of yourself. I'm not saying anyone's seriously ill here. I'm just saying there's a lot about being drained, a lot about needing to take care of yourself. Please do, Divine Feminines, please. She was present at the annexation ceremony in 1898 when her homeland became the territory of Hawaii. In protest of what her and her family regarded as an illegal act on the part of the U.S., she wore funeral attire to the ceremony. In early 1899, when she was only 23, her health rapidly declined. She suffered from fever and pneumonia, inflammatory rheumatism, and possibly had an undiagnosed thyroid disease. She died on the island of Oahu on March 6, 1899, at the age of 23. Wow. Her legacy remains alive in Hawaii, where her memory still inspires its citizens. She embodies the compassion, beauty, and devotion of the Queen of Cups. Her card is one that signifies discovering a new depth of nurturing, caring love within yourself. As the Queen of Cups, she also reminds us to be sensitive to our own needs, yes, as well as those we love. But right now, you've done enough of that, your own needs. What is your body telling you? What are your emotions telling you? How can you lovingly respond? Yes. Okay, so much yes. Take care of yourself. I feel like I'm just repeating myself in different ways, but this is what Spirit has to say. And I don't know, maybe you're stubborn about it. Spirit is wanting you to really listen, to really hear this and take action towards caring for yourself and pulling back. Don't be afraid of what other people are going to think. If they think you're selfish, so be it. You're not being selfish for taking care of yourself first. You've already given more than enough of yourself. Yes, don't, just abandon your children and your spouse if you have them. But you need to make time for yourself. Or, you can't care for anyone properly if you can't care for yourself. So I'm feeling the need to pull some oracle cards from this. Sorry, Divine Masculines. They didn't apparently want me to pull any of those for you. I was in full channeling mode. I just moved it over there and grabbed these cards. But we'll probably get you some from this deck. In fact, let's start with you, Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine. What does the Divine Masculine need from this deck? What messages do you have for them, Holy Spirit? What messages do you have for them? What messages do you have for the Divine Masculine Collective right now from this Oracle book? Messages. This one. Oh, could not be more perfect. This is my twin flame card from this deck. Reflect. But also, it's about inner reflection. Let's see what the guidebook has to say, but that's what I'm getting from it. And again, more with spirit guides. There's an owl here, a whale, and a horse. You may want to look up those animal spirit guides, see what they mean. You may just want to meditate on the thought of them, see what they mean to you. All right. Vibe check, motive check, awareness of our part. Our closest fellows are mirrors and allow us to see parts of ourselves. Ooh, okay, yes. So I'm getting triggering. Your Divine Feminine could be triggering you. Twin flames do that to each other in general. That's part of the journey, the process. We reflect aspects of ourselves to each other for the purpose of growing, which is part of the reason why there's this collision, separation cycle that many go through, because it's an intense energy to be so triggered by someone, but Everyone that you interact with is a mirror for you in some way. So be aware of those around you and how they're triggering you. When you get triggered, I'm not saying that what they're doing is necessarily good or correct or any of that, but I'm saying notice what it brings up in you in that moment. Reflection and spiritual maintenance, to take inventory of our behaviors and actions in response to a particular situation so we may learn from them. What are you reflecting into the world today? And these cards come with the affirmation. Yours is, thank you for this opportunity for growth. Today, I choose to exude joy, brilliance, inspiration, and hope. Yes. Oh yes, and it was a horse, an owl, and a whale. Okay, Divine Feminines, let's get a card for you from this deck. Divine Feminine message, please, Holy Spirit. Divine Feminine message. Okay, let's go. Light. I like this one, light. Let's see, it looks like we have a bear, a bird, a giraffe, and a llama. Let's see. Embrace your inner light. I'm hearing, oh yeah, tend to your light. It's just more self-care that's getting channeled through. Let's see what the booklet has to say. Okay, it's a bear, a bird, a cow, and a sheep. Excuse me, a bear, a bird, a cow, and sheep. So you may want to look up those animals. Light, the sun, source of light, source of life. Which path draws us closer to the light versus dark? Good fortune, happiness, and joy. Allow the light to shine through you. How are you sharing your light today? Energized. With light comes dark cycles. Gratitude. Spirit's having me focus on the sharing one. Creative projects, their work, their spiritual endeavors. Are you focused on that? That can be a way of caring for yourself. I mean, definitely also just take some quiet time to make sure you're energized enough to do that. But how are you sharing your light? How are you sharing your talents, your skills? I'm hearing your joy. How are you sharing your joy? All right, your affirmation is, today I choose to be a beacon of Spirit's master plan of light, inspiration, and joy. I am filled with gratitude. So yeah, gratitude is a big focus in this card too. I'm hearing find gratitude for yourself, not just what you have. That can help you with calling back your energy. They say make a gratitude list. I'm feeling the need to recommend make a list of all the reasons why others should be grateful for you. Don't think it's selfish. It's not. Make a list of all the ways you are constantly there for others, and you will see exactly why you need to take more time for yourself. Because you're Divine Feminines. You're giving a lot. I already know that. All right, Spirit. Okay, they want me to finish up this cute little deck that I love so much. This is the Take Good Care Oracle deck. If I didn't mention any of the decks verbally, they will be in the description box below. So if you want to look, see. Let's see. Divine Feminine first, please. Message for Divine Feminine, please. Okay, that was fast. Expansiveness. Yes. Let's get another for Divine Feminine. I'm feeling. Another. Okay, we got. Okay, another message of release. Release what isn't working. And trust spaciousness. So expansiveness and spaciousness. Take space for yourself. Allow yourself to expand. Take up more space, I'm hearing. Yeah, stand in your power. Take up more space. Set your boundaries. Care for yourself. Release what isn't working. Release people. Release mindsets. Release giving too much of yourself. That's just such a big message coming through for you. You're already expanding. You're already doing this. Keep it up, Divine Feminine. You're doing great. Even if you think you are, even if you think you aren't, I promise you are. The Divine has been very clear about. The opening message was Divine Feminines aren't fucking around. You're not fucking around. So if you're being hard on yourself, don't. Just take the time to regroup if you're feeling drained and down on yourself. Divine Masculines, please. Message for Divine Masculines. Message for Divine Masculines. Oh, I love this one for the masculines. Okay, so first up we have reflect on connection. And the one that I'm really feeling is vulnerability is a channel to strength. This is something the masculines really need to work on. Let's see if we can get it. If you're not already, work on that. Because yes, the masculine energy is more very firm, stable, more active in a way. Not that feminines aren't active, but it's this more forceful energy overall. But that doesn't mean that forcefulness is strength. There is strength in vulnerability. There is great strength in vulnerability. And if you can find that mindset, it'll really help you with what you're going through right now. And reflect on connection. I feel this is less about connections with people. I'm feeling this is like, I'm hearing connection to self, connection to source. It's like an inner connection. If you're feeling like, I feel like there's a very big energy of just the masculines feeling disconnected in their circumstances. Like they're not connecting with their job. They're not connecting with the person they're with. They're not connecting with their choices, maybe their words. I'm not saying this is like everything you're doing is wrong or like disconnected, but there's just this energy of needing to align with yourself more and align with spirit, your intuition. I'm feeling I need to pull a message like overall for both of you. What do you want to say to these connections, to these feminines and masculines? What do you want to say to them overall? Receive. Being receptive. Being open to receive. And this is something I feel like all humans need to work on in general, myself included. Especially if you are trying to manifest anything and you feel like you're putting in the work, but you're not seeing it. Go within and reflect on why that could be within yourself. Are you open to receiving? See what comes up when you go within and think about that, when you meditate on that or journal on it. Just get quiet and see what comes up when you tap into this energy, this word, receive, receptiveness. Being receptive is a very feminine energy, so it comes typically, not always, but typically a bit more naturally to the divine feminines. But even they need to work on this right now. This is a message for you both. I'm feeling like they want me to do something else. What is it, Spirit? Okay. Oh. Did I do one of these for the feminines? I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Is that what you're wanting me to do, Spirit? Okay. Divine feminines. What do the divine feminines need to heal at this time? What do you want them to work on from this deck? Okay. Oh, solar plexus. Here we go. Joy. Pretty sure I said tapping into your joy or something like that when we were addressing one of the other oracle cards. The card of light. Lots of yellow, lots of light, expansiveness. The sun card in tarot also brings about an energy of expansiveness to me, and that just came to mind. So let's see, I'll read that booklet and see what it says. And then despondence is the other one. I may pull an overall energy from this deck for the two of you too, just to end on that, because I was wanting to end on a group message there. But that's channeling for you. Things come through in really interesting ways. Joy. Let's just jump and see what happens. We don't know much about Dancing Daisy, but we do know that she brings joy wherever she appears. Everyone who sees her becomes happier and more peaceful. Arguments cease as she comes close. People are even healed physically as a result of her presence. No one knows where she came from, and just before the TV crews arrive, she leaves. Dancing Daisy represents a new joyous phase in life and a significant change, such as a move, a new job, or a marriage. This is the moment after the leap. You may not see where you are going, but you will land on your feet. So yeah, you may be, if you're considering a move, a new job, or anything like that, this may be a confirmation for you that it's a good idea. What can I do to invite happiness into my life? Yeah, follow your joy, your happiness. If what you're considering really excites you, that already is confirmation enough. Being present is not the same as truly experiencing something. Okay. So be present. I didn't totally understand that one at first, but I'm getting it's like awareness versus, how are they explaining it? Joyous awareness, yeah. Not just being aware, not just observing and being present in that way, but really engage. That's what they're trying to get through. Yes, let's see if there's any more. Okay. And then we've got despondence. By taking action, I find the road out. Iris is depressed and unable to look after herself. Yes, okay, so this is the engagement. It's don't just be aware of the situation, engage. If there's something that needs to change, make the change. Iris is depressed and unable to look after herself or her home. She cries out to the great spirits for help. Mother Earth appears and suggests Iris shower, eat a good meal, and clean up her house. Take care of herself, basically. Yes, divine feminines. She does, but still feels despondent. Suddenly a hurricane hits and Iris springs into action to rescue her neighbor's children. In the urgency, she finds the way out of depression by taking action. So yeah, maybe you need to shake things up. You know, maybe just cooking a meal won't be enough for you. Maybe just taking a bath. Maybe you need something extra, that move or that new job. Whatever it is for you, go within, meditate on it. In which part of my life am I feeling immobilized? I know what I need to do. Am I willing to trust myself? Yes, I love that. Okay, I do just want to do, we're over an hour. I'll edit this down a little bit to try to make it short because it's going to take forever to upload. But they want one more overall message for both of you. What do you want it from? Okay. Just one last tarot. Overall energy, overall message, a little ending for our divine feminines and masculines. One last message to come through for them both, please. Oh, perfect. 8 of Swords in the reverse. Liberate yourselves. Free yourselves from whatever it is. We talked about a number of things in this video. Take time with yourself. Figure out what it is you need to free yourself from. And then take action towards it. You have what you need to do so. You do. You do. All right, everyone, I hope this helped. I'm always bad about forgetting to say this, but if you need personal readings, that information's down below. Email me. If you're interested in really inexpensive daily intuitive readings, that information is also down below for my Patreon. What else? If you are able to, I will happily accept donations. If you're not, please energetically donate, like, subscribe. I'm not going to ask you to click the little notification bell. I won't even do that. We get enough notifications on our phone. And if a message is meant for you, you're going to find it. So, but if you are able, please like it, support it in some way. If you're not able to financially, I totally understand. No hard feelings, no judgment. I appreciate you being here with me today. I hope it helped you. Take care.